Welcome to the Portland Culinary Podcast on Portland Culinary Radio. I'm Steven Shomler, your host. We are back here in Bozeman, Montana. I was lucky enough to come back last year, 2018, for Bozeman Craft Beer Week. Invited back again this year, and I've done a number of podcasts both years. If you want to see all of my Bozeman-centric podcasts, beer podcasts, culinary podcasts, travel articles, please go to adventuresinbozeman.com. I am in one of the most beautiful restaurants that I've seen in a long time. And it's not just beautiful, but it kind of is a weird thing to me because it's beautiful and it feels super comfortable. Jarrett Schwartz, you're the, I don't know what you are. You're the head chef, the chief muckety-muck, the visionary.
Yeah, executive chef, owner, partner, visionary.
But man, hats off to you because it's hard to pull off beauty and accessibility. And you've done it. I love it. And the menu is crazy.
Thank you. I have great partners that help build the restaurant and had a vision of what it looks like and how it can look alive and, kind of fit the theme of farm to table and lots of wine.
I love it. Okay, questions I ask everybody on all my podcasts. Where were you born?
I was born in Philly, back east.
Philly, all right. And where'd you go to high school?
Cherry Creek in Denver, outside Denver, Colorado, yeah.
And what was the mascot there?
It was the Bruins, the bear.
The bear, okay. Yeah. And when did you move to Bozeman?
We moved here last November.
Last November. And why did you move here?
I moved here with my family for the restaurant.
Okay, to open this restaurant.
Yeah, to get back into the restaurant scene and saw Bozeman is booming and this is going to be a good place for us.
Okay, so that was November, and the restaurant opened about 7 weeks ago.
Correct.
End of March?
In March, the end of March, we opened our doors.
Wow, so you're brand new.
Brand new. Working out the kinks.
It'll take about a year, but it doesn't. What's cool is it doesn't feel like it. Some restaurants when they open, you can kind of sense that there's still a little bit of chaos and they haven't been able to grease the skids yet. Where I'm sure there's stuff happening behind the scenes because that's how it works.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't feel that way, which is impressive.
It's the first. I've opened 9 different restaurants for myself or people, and this is the first smooth opening.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think that's because you've learned from all of the other ones before.
I have, yes.
Yeah, that's the benefit, I think, of experience if you're willing to learn from your previous stuff.
Absolutely.
Some people have a lot of experience and they just keep making the same mistake over and over. They don't learn from it.
No, need to learn.
Okay, what were you doing professionally before you moved here to open this place?
I worked as a private chef and a consultant for other restaurants.
And where was that in?
In Jackson Hole.
Jackson Hole, wow.
Wyoming, yeah.
That's a cool town.
Yeah, awesome town.
Okay, and so as I understand, you said, okay, that's it. I'm done with my time in Jackson Hole. I'm ready to get back into having a restaurant. So theoretically, you could have gone anywhere in the country. What made you choose Bozeman?
I chose Bozeman because it seems like the town is booming, first off. I have a 5-year-old daughter. It seems like a great place to raise a child. I ski a lot, so criteria for where I need to live is skiing first, and then, now it's going to be my daughter first, then skiing. So trying to make everyone happy. So if I can get out and ski 80 days a year and run my businesses, raise my daughter, my wife's happy, it's all good.
That sounds fantastic. So where do you like to ski around here?
Bridger Bowl is probably the local ski area. Probably logged about 80 days in there this year.
Nice.
And then Big Sky is about an hour away, which is a huge, awesome area too.
Yeah, that's beautiful up there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, where did your cooking journey begin?
It began probably home. My mother had a part-time catering business when I was around grade school, and I would come home from school and help her cook and get everything situated. My summers were spent in Margate, New Jersey, fishing and filleting fish, and cooking with my grandma.
Is that on the Jersey Shore?
Jersey Shore, yep.
Wow.
South Jersey Shore, yep.
And how did, so I think that's a pretty cool heritage, helping your mom cook and then she had a catering business. So you probably learned a lot without even realizing you were learning a lot.
Absolutely. I learned a ton of how to work, quickly, multitask, how to fillet fish, which actually came into play when I started being a sushi chef. I was learning and I didn't even know it, and it was fun.
And so you guys, going back to Margate, summers on the Jersey Shore, you said you'd catch the fish, take them home to your grandma and grandpa's house, and take care of them right there.
Yeah, we'd fillet them right there, spend a couple hours filleting all the fish we caught, and then my grandma would be cooking them right there. And I'd help her bread them, fry them. Had I known about sushi when I was young, like we would have been eating a ton of it raw, but we didn't, so we fried everything.
And I bet that also informed your professional cooking journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What a gift that you probably didn't even realize. You're just having fun.
Yeah. Great garden that when I was younger, I didn't eat any of the vegetables, and I kick myself now and I see the pictures of what was being grown. I'm like, oh my God, it's awesome.
Okay, so where did your professional cooking journey begin?
I think I would say it began when I was in Park City, Utah. It was actually a place called the Wasatch Brew Pub. Just a, brew pub fare. Chicken pesto sandwiches, burgers, fish and chips.
What took you to Park City?
Skiing.
And then you got to work,
Friends,
right?
Got to work. I had one of the guys that I worked with was a somewhat retired chef he was on the Culinary Olympic team, and no one wanted to work with him because he had very set ways of doing things. And I worked with him. He was a skier, so we got along, and he showed me everything. And I think I worked there for 6 years, from like making stocks to reductions, everything, so much stuff that I still use today. I learned when I was at the Wasatch Brew Pub.
So you got an incredible education from this guy.
Absolutely.
And he was probably thrilled to have someone to do what he said.
Yes.
And that was interested to learn.
Absolutely.
Wow, that is, again, that's another cool gift you got.
Great teacher.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, Joe Sawyer, I think his name. Shout out to Joe.
I love that. Okay, so, Tanglewood, it's been opened 7 weeks right now.
Yep.
And, you say you moved here in November, but behind the scenes, these things don't happen by themselves. This beautiful building, this beautiful space. So you first picked out to build something on this piece of dirt at the time in 2017.
Correct.
So it's been a 2-year journey to get open.
Absolutely, yeah. Building, planning, thinking about the concept, thinking it's going to work, is it not going to work? And we just thought right off the bat that, it's going to be a home run. 32 wines on tap, come in, taste, buy a bottle, buy 2.5 ounce pours, buy a half a glass, whatever you like. And what I didn't realize before I moved up here was the amount of local produce and meats and all the bounty that is up here.
Yeah, incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, stuff is amazing. The local farms and people have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. It's being in Jackson for so long, I was there for 17 years. It's cold. I get a lot of arugula and cabbage and carrots, turnips. And here it's anything I want. It's pretty awesome.
That's beautiful. Okay, now tell me about the name. I love the name. I love the kind of the branding that goes with it. But tell me the cool story behind the name.
Tanglewood. So we wanted to name the restaurant something that evoked wine and food. And as we were going through names, my partner Blaine, he grew up next to a small park called Tanglewood. So
did it have vines and stuff growing in it?
Yeah, super viney. And so we were like, Tanglewood's great. It's like wines, and it's a cool name, and so we just had to name it something, right?
And it's memorable. It's memorable, and I think it's fantastic. Okay, so someone that's not been here before, how would you describe the cuisine that they would have? How do you describe it?
It's cliche, but it's truly farm to table food. We have pork that's processed on Thursday, and we'll have it on Fridays. We get most of our vegetables from all the local farms around town or regional. And it's an American bistro. We do a little bit of everything. It's my style of food, but it's I would say American bistro would be what you would call it.
Yeah, and some people farm to table. For some people, it's not really farm to table. It's just kind of a marketing thing.
Absolutely not.
But in the back of your menu right here, you've got the farms listed. 406 Market, Bozeman, Strike Farms, Bozeman, Pioneer Meats, Big Timber, Root Cellar Foods, Belgrade. There's no joke. These are the farms.
Yeah, and that's just some of them. From our flour to the trout that's being processed in Paradise Valley and raised to the meats, everything is, local. We're planning a little herb garden right out front of the restaurant, so we'll be getting herbs for our cocktails and things like that right out front as well. So
okay, and a little bit of a fun detour. just because I think it's really cool, is just outside is like a cool coffee shop with amazing food, and that's Foxtrot.
Foxtrot, yep.
And was that always in the plan to do that?
It was. We needed a center. We're in the market building, so there's going to be quite a few businesses around here, and we needed a center piece to anchor the market building. And a coffee shop seemed like the logical, a little cafe seemed like the logical thing to do.
And that's open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep.
And I've had a cup of coffee. The coffee's amazing, and you roast it yourself.
We roast it ourselves.
That's impressive.
Absolutely.
And then you can get, some really good breakfast stuff, some lunch stuff, some salads.
Yep.
It's just fantastic.
Yep. Super fresh.
I like that. All right. So as I understand your menu, it's big picture. It's going to be seasonal. That's the current plan. Someone hears this podcast in 2 years and it's different. Hey, that's the way things go. But you probably have a lot of things on the menu once you get everything settled. Summer, fall, winter, spring. Seasonal, that kind of thing.
Correct.
And so I don't want to mention too many things on the menu, even though oh my gosh, we need all these things. But what are some of the things that you'll probably always have on the menu?
So I think our big sellers and things that will always be on the menu, there will be some type of pork dish. Again, we're going with all the regional and local purveyors out there. So we have great pork farms, tons of meat around. So we'll always have a pork chop of some sort on the menu. It'll be accompanied by, seasonal things. We'll always have a steak going on the menu for sure, some type of grilled steak, probably a burger on the menu, which is...
People like burgers.
Yeah, they love burgers, and our burger, it's really cool. McFarland White Ranch in Montana, they grind the whole cow, so you're actually eating a burger that comes from one cow.
Wow.
As opposed to, I don't know how many cows in a single burger.
And you mentioned the grilled pork chop, and I know that this is what's local now, but just reading the menu, it is so, I just want it. You've got Summit Valley pork, sherried cherry and shiitake mushroom sauce.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Crispy fingerling potatoes, roasted carrots, and fried sage.
Yes.
Okay, sign me up right now.
Right.
I will take that. And I love it. It seems to be, based on what I can tell, kind of vegetable heavy. You got a lot of vegetables.
Very vegetable forward. Yeah. Just as I've gotten older, just cook a little healthier, less cream, less butter, more vegetables. And, vegetables are easy to work with when, a baby carrot tastes like a baby carrot candy, and cauliflower is tasting like cauliflower is supposed to taste.
I love it. Okay, now you said something earlier that's like, I don't think people may or may not have caught it, but I'm holding your placemat in front of me, which is big. I'll take a picture of it so people can see it if they go to the website and look. But you've got how many wines on tap?
We have 32 wines on tap, which is fantastic.
So if I open up, go to the current last page of the menu, you've got Tanglewood Reserve, and that's bottles.
Bottles.
And really good wines on here, including some from Oregon, which always makes me happy.
Absolutely.
So those are bottles of like really amazing stuff. But I can just try 32 different wines just on tap. 2.5 ounce pours, 5 ounce pours, 8 ounce pours.
Yeah, so you can try a taste, 2.5 ounce pour. You don't have to invest. I don't know how many times I've bought in a bottle of wine, or you bought in a bottle of wine that's $60 bottle, and it's good. It's not awesome.
Yep.
And you've had $40 bottles that are awesome.
Yep.
So you can try a $6 taste, 2.5 ounce pour, and if you love it, you can buy yourself a bottle, or you can buy a large glass. You can try, 6 2.5 ounce pours, or however much you want to drink that night, and just roll through the menu. It's such a awesome, cool way to, I feel like, to drink, to go out to eat.
Yeah, you're making wine super accessible.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it because I think I see 2 or 3 that I'd like to try, and this allows me to try them and not feel like, I just invested, $100 in a bottle and then went, oh, yeah, that wasn't, it may or may not have been good, but it didn't work for me.
Right.
Because sometimes it's a good bottle of wine, just doesn't fit my palate.
Correct.
And some people don't realize that.
And you can roll through the menu, and you can have waiters or waitresses pair like courses. You can do, if you're doing 4 courses off the menu, if you're having something spicy, try a Riesling. If you're having some heavy meat, try a Merlot. We can put together a tasting menu for you right off our menu.
And what I love is you've got 3 different sparklings that I can get, including a sparkling rosé. And, my sweetheart, she loves sparkling, and that's perfect. And you've got a lot of beer and cider on tap, Montana beer and cider. The cocktails, I love me a good cocktail. Yes. And there's 2, and I know that the cocktails will change in the seasons.
Yep.
But just the 2 that just strike my fancy, gone pickin', local huckleberry vodka, lavender chamomile simple syrup, and fresh seasonal berries.
we have quite the cocktail list, yes.
So another cocktail that really struck my fancy, Jade Mountain, and then as I looked down the menu, then it kind of made sense. Wait a minute. So you have Junmai sake, you have vodka, coconut milk, basil mint syrup, and fresh citrus. That sounds like an amazing cocktail, but it's a sake cocktail. And I look down the menu, and you've got sake on the menu.
Yeah, we have a few sakes that we have on the menu. It's just such a clean tasting.
You love sake, and that's why you put it on the menu.
Love sake. That's why we put it on the menu. It's something that tastes super clean. It's another option besides wine. Being in the sushi business for as long as I was, drank a lot of sakes, and sake served in a wine glass has everything that a really nice glass of red wine has. Smells, tastes. It's just beautiful.
Okay, so 2 years of work, opened 7 weeks ago. What did it feel like when it opened?
Like I said before, it felt like I worked for the last 2 years straight. Just tiring. But it was very rewarding. When it opened, we just saw all the fruits of our labor kind of just bloom, I guess. And it was just very smooth. People coming in, loving the food, loving the wine, and the cocktails as well.
So you've got kind of something interesting. I think it's amazing with the chefs that are here. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have, we probably have 8 chefs that work for me now. 5 of the chefs were executive chefs at other restaurants. 3 of the chefs moved here out of state to work with me again.
So you have chefs on staff that have worked with you before.
I do. Absolutely.
And you have chefs on staff that used to be executive chefs and currently aren't.
Correct.
So the way I interpret that data, based on my experience, I hear a lot of chef stories. You must be a good guy to work with. You have to be.
Some of the time. Yeah. My philosophy is just to work as, I get input from everybody. Just because I think something is great doesn't mean that it is. All these other chefs have experiences that are different than mine, and we want to put them all together and create something that's really unique, really great. I love to learn. I learn from all these guys and all their experiences too, and I can kind of morph things into my style. But I need to, if I didn't listen to them, I would just be super ignorant.
So, what's your position on drama in a restaurant?
No drama. please, no drama. Yeah, the restaurants are notorious for being like a soap opera.
Yes, behind the scenes, front of house, back of house.
Front of house, back of house. There's the division. Then there's people who can't stand each other, and this person's dating this person or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you guys can have drama. Like, don't bring it into work. Let's do this. Let's have a great time and help each other out. If someone next to you isn't working very well, help them. Don't put them down. If you don't get along with this person, try to get along with them professionally. You don't have to like them, but let's do this for the team.
Yeah, but your leadership styles. Hey, we're just not going to have drama.
We're not having drama.
Like you said, you'd helped open 9 restaurants before.
Yes.
And you're a little bit older now than you were.
Yes.
And you're done with the drama, I bet.
I am done with the drama. Yeah. It's exhausting, and it puts morale down, and
it just makes for a better working environment to have that approach.
It does.
So what does it take to have a successful restaurant?
Let's see, it takes lots of hard work, patience, an open mind, and a lot of talent and good product as well.
Why the patience part?
Well, you're dealing, like we just talked about, you're dealing with a lot of different personalities, and you need to realize that not everyone is going to learn the same way. You can't. Some people you have to be a little harsher with. Some people you need to hold their hand. Everybody is going to work a different way or has been raised differently. And you need to be conscious of that if you're gonna be the guy in charge, you need to be aware of how everybody else's around you works. And you might have other chefs that aren't treating other people well, or they don't recognize that, and then you need to talk to them about that. So it's a lot of patience.
Okay, so your current plan right now for hours, 7 days a week, 5 to 10. Come here, have a great dinner.
Correct.
That's the current game plan.
Yes.
And then you're looking to add brunch on Saturdays and Sundays?
Saturdays and Sundays, we'll start a brunch program.
Yeah, it's funny. I hear a lot of great places for breakfast in Bozeman. My third trip in, third time here, but I've never heard anyone say brunch. And there may be a bunch of brunch places I've never heard about, but I doubt it just because I've never heard about them. Sure. I suspect Bozeman is ready for a great brunch.
I think so as well. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have, French omelets, croque madame. We'll have pasta, burger, pizza, a little bit of everything, but brunchy food, eggs, bacon, French toast, all kinds of good stuff.
That sounds great. Okay, so I have a terrible confession to make.
Yes.
My third trip to Bozeman, and I've never yet had a steak here in Bozeman.
Oh, man.
I know that's terrible.
Yeah, there's so many ranches around here with the best meat. It's the best meat that I've worked with.
So looking at the menu, I think I'm planning on coming back tomorrow night. And something that caught my eye for an appetizer, and I know it may not be in the menu a year from now, but I got to mention it. And I think I'm going to eat it and take pictures of it. But the crispy yams.
Yes.
Yams are such just a basic thing, but I think you've elevated the heck out of them.
It's, like I said, it's my favorite item that's on the menu, my favorite new item. It just has that salty, sweet, sour notes. The yams are local. We pickle Fresno chilies, little pomegranate molasses. It just all comes together.
Little creme fraiche.
Yep.
That's what I'm getting, some yams. And I think I might get...
Lots of crunch on top.
I think I might get the Montana steak frites. You had me at chimichurri.
Yeah, we get lots of people at horseradish or chimichurri.
Yeah, it just sounds fantastic. And
that's a local product. They butcher for us. We sous vide that, so it's cooked to the perfect temperature, season it up, grill it. Our grill's fortified with wood, so we get this wood flavor on all of our grilled products.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So I know you have a big vision we talked about, which I'm super excited about. I just look forward to following your progress. I know you're just opened. Just opened, but I look forward to following your progress over the next 3 or 4 years. I think my gut tells me you're going to do very well. I'm really excited about that, and I love Bozeman. I love Bozeman. Bozeman feels like home now, doesn't it?
It does. Love Bozeman as well.
Yeah. You've only been here a short time.
But it seems like it's a great community. I love everything that it has to offer. It has a small town feel still, but it has a lot more going on.
Yeah, it's funny. I say this occasionally, but it's true. Even last night, my son put on his, Instagram. He's moving to Bozeman someday. He came with me last year, and he loves it. He plans to move to Bozeman, and he has a career where he can do it wherever he wants. And he just thinks this would be a great place to live because it just feels like home, even if it's your first time here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very warm feeling.
Yeah.
Inviting.
All right, and something near and dear to my heart. You said one of the reasons you moved here is great place to raise your daughter.
Correct. Yeah.
And I celebrate that. I suspect you really like being a dad.
I love being a dad, and my daughter's 5 now, and it just seems like Bozeman has everything that I don't know what she's going to like when she's older, but I feel like there's so much for her here that's offered, from skiing to horseback riding to martial arts, the school system. There's so many kids. Like where we moved in our neighborhood, it is just like kid central. It's crazy.
And something I forgot to mention that I have to is you've got the dessert menu. Oh my gosh, you've got 5 desserts. The one I think I want to get, flathead cherry shortcake.
Oh, so good.
Olive oil shortbread.
Yeah.
I love that. Local cherries and homemade sour cream gelato.
Yeah. So that's another collaboration from my chefs. He made this olive oil shortcake, and I was like, what? And we tried it, and now it's by far my favorite cake, and I don't really like cake that much. Sour cream gelato, it's got a little sour note to it.
Yeah, a little bit of tang, right?
Yep, that flathead cherries, 200 miles away, Flathead Lake. Cherries are unbelievable. We do a little, I don't know if it's on the menu, but we serve it with a little mascarpone cream.
Wow.
Sweet cream. It's so good.
Okay, I'm getting that too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Thank you so much, Jarrett. It's been great to have you on the podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
I wish you all the success in the world. I'm excited to follow your journey over the next couple of years here in Bozeman.
Thank you so much.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.